Hello, and welcome to Starting Points, where one thing leads to another. Marco Polo took a trip with his father to China overland and spent many years there. And when he returned, he wrote about his experiences. And when that book got published, opened people's eyes in Europe to what in the world. Look at the culture that he talks about, and the inventions, and the way of life. And so that created a stir which led in time to the desire to connect up with this almost different world. So Marco Polo served as a starting point, and this book, one of those heritage books, is a great, in my opinion, starting point for learning about the influence of Marco Polo and of opening your eyes a bit to the Chinese culture that existed back then, years before we're looking at now with the explorers, the age of explorers. Last time, I shared with you a book by Jean Lee Latham. She wrote many biographies, but this one about Drake used the word pirate, the man they called pirate. And I thought I would share with you a book that, again, I think is a good starting point. This looks at the lives of 9 people during the time of Queen Elizabeth I and the explorers that were exploring at that time. And it's by R.J. Unstead. It's short biographies of of 9 people. 2 of them were women. One was a doctor. One was maybe he was a buccaneer. Maybe he was a pirate. William Dampier was a buccaneer rather than a pirate in his younger days. Buccaneers believed that they were carrying on lawful warfare against Spain, and the better commanders would have been indignant to be called pirates, since pirates were outlaws who attacked ships of any nation. Some, of course, were both. In time of war, governments often supported the buccaneers and favored the fitting out of private expeditions. Well, there's certainly a brewing pot of trouble on its way, led by people's actions like Drake, whether he was a buccaneer or a pirate. Classify him, I guess, as a buccaneer at that time. Now, this book, The Spanish Armada, is again, I think, a wonderful starting point. And I'm going to start with showing you a picture of a man who perhaps controlled more of the world's globe than anyone before or after. More than Caesar, more than Alexander the Great or whomever. And the title that's right opposite his portrait is On a Collision Course, which is what's happening. Spain's had enough, and they're going to do something about these pesky English sea captains. Now, a little bit about Philip II. His father controlled a vast empire of land, and when he died, much of his kingdom went to Philip. And Philip had the kingdoms of Castile and Aragon, but he was also Duke of Milan, Naples, Dijon, Count Regent of Brussels, Lord of the Netherlands, of Sicily and parts of France, ruler of most of the New World. Now, with the annexing of Portugal, his empire extended eastward too, far into the Orient. The Portuguese had bases for refueling, water, food, repairing ships along the coast of Africa, and Madagascar, and Goa on the west coast of India, and Macau in China, and Nagasaki in Japan. And controlling all this empire, of course, was quite a burden. He looks like he's maybe somebody who might manage it. Now, it's another interesting little thing about Philip II. He was married to Mary the First, Queen of England. So he had some strong influence with England. Now, she ruled for 5 years, and when she died, Queen Elizabeth was declared the queen. And he sent her a message from Spain proposing to Mary, a marriage proposal, which she very politely and diplomatically refused. Now, let's bring her in. Here she is in all her finery that I guess was expected of the nobility. Pearl necklace, maybe some jewels in her hair. These collar things that look to me to be somewhat uncomfortable. These beautiful gown, huge sleeves, maybe gold worked into the detailed patterns. In her right hand, she has a fan, and the fan is made with bright colored bird flowers, which may have come from, say, an island in the Caribbean. She doesn't look happy to me. She looks a bit austere. In fact, she looks concerned, and probably rightly so. Now, there's two more pictures I'd like to add to this. One is a picture of now Sir Francis Drake. First when I looked at the picture, I thought he might be smiling or about to break into a smile or a laugh. But as I looked at it a little bit more, I thought maybe he was almost a smirk of self-congratulation. Behind him is, in this engraving, is a globe. And rightly so, he was the first Englishman to sail around the world. About 200 years before Captain Cook sailed around the world. Now, the last picture, the battle between Goliath, Spain, and David, England, was over. And David had won. And Queen Elizabeth is painted here with more pearls, pearls in her sleeves, jewels or in her hairpins. Here is a painting in the background that shows the English fleet, and here's a painting that shows the Spanish galleons that are crashing on the rocks off of Scotland as they fled that way. She just seems much more relaxed. I could almost see a smile on her face. And she's got her right hand very gently placed on the globe. And it's over about where the Isthmus of Panama is. There's the equator, South America. This would be the area that the Spanish also are in control of. But she doesn't look smug, but she looks, as I say, relieved. Well, thanks for joining me. Until next time, bye for now.